Hi everyone, my name's John, and in this video I show you how to take a desktop web app and make it mobile friendly. So a lot of people, when they build their first app with Bubble, will make it as a desktop web app. They then come to look at it in the mobile view and it doesn't look good at all. I did exactly this with my first app. So what you have to do is use the Bubble responsive editor to make your app mobile friendly. In this video, I give a quick example of an app that I did this for. Let's do this. This is a page I'm making for the beginners template. It's a marketplace to buy and sell dogs. And as you can see in the desktop view, it looks good. I've designed it with desktop in mind and I'm very happy with it. But then as you start to decrease the width of the screen, you can see straight away that it's not mobile friendly. The title and this button's all wrong. All the buttons in the search, they've all stacked on top of each other. And then the repeating group has squashed up and, the dogs are looking a little bit squashed. So now I'll show you what I do to make it mobile friendly. So this is my design in the Bubble editor. And the first step I would take when making it mobile responsive, I would go and have a look at the responsive section here. So it's almost like it's a whole nother editor for Bubble. It gives you the option to scroll here so you can see how the responsiveness of your app and the elements. So you can click mobile view, desktop view, and that's just a good way to flick between them. So the other difference with the responsiveness editor is if you click on something, you see a different view here, and it gives you different options to make an element responsive. So we're on a text at the moment. Currently it's fixed width. If we go on this group, you can see that it's not fixed width, so we can change the minimum width. And as you make changes with this editor, you can see them straight away and how they affect your app. Let's start by editing this title and button. So at the moment, you can see that firstly, they're too close to each other. They're pretty much on top of each other. Secondly, this want to sell a dog and sell a dog button is to the right of the screen on mobile because it's aligned to the right here. But on mobile, that doesn't quite look right. So I'll start by make this. No, we don't want to do that. We'll keep that fixed width. We'll start by adding a gap in between them. So to do that, we'll go back to the UI builder and we'll add a space above the button here. So just adding that space means that at the moment when the button wraps to a new line underneath the buy a dog, it goes right on top of each other. If we add the gap, it means that it leaves that space and it'll look that bit nicer. So there you go. You can see that that's added there. So the next thing we want to do is align this in the middle when it's on mobile. So there's kind of a few different ways we can do this. I'm actually going to change the alignment of the group to make it central. It'll stay to the right on desktop because that's where we've placed it on the screen. But then hopefully when we go down to mobile, you'll see that it goes to the center of the screen. Another option that we could have done was maybe change the width. So that does look really good like that. But then we get other issues as we move the page. You can see that because the width isn't fixed width, they start moving away from each other, and you just get other issues. So we'll change that back to fixed width. Then just looking at the title, it might be nice to so what we can do with that is change it so it's not fixed width, but make the minimum width pretty much 100%, so it doesn't decrease like it was beforehand. Then if we go back to the UI builder, let's just check something. We'll just check the width here. So we can see that the width is 667. So we'll go back here and we'll add a condition so that when the page is under 600, it's less than 667. The alignment of this text, we'll change the alignment so that it becomes central alignment. So let's check the responsiveness of that. So you see when we, it's center, then it's aligned to the left. So let's have a look. I think that makes it look better. I don't think it's perfect, but it's perfect for now. Next, let's sort out the searching buttons here. So straight away, you can see that the group containing them all has shrunk to a minimum width that is too small. So we'd rather it be similar to this one, which has a minimum width of 32%. So if we change this to 32, and that looks better already. So I think it's good having the search and the filter on the same line, like it's already done. I think this filter button we can actually make smaller, and then the search will become bigger. Let's just double check that looks okay still in desktop. Yep. And then I think we can make this button here as well. Okay. I think we can have it as a minimum width at its max. And then take away, apply a max width. And then that button will stretch. But again, you can see that they're on top of each other. So we'll go back to the UI builder, find them in here, and we will do the same again and add a space above them. So I think we need to put them inside a group for that. Oh no, that's worked. So yeah, so we've added this space above them here. And now you can see that's starting to look a lot better. Now let's edit the repeating group. So what we want to do here is open the repeating group, and we want to add a current cell minimum width that is similar to what we want the width of the group inside the repeating group to stay at. So I think off the top of my head, the group inside the repeating group was 300 pixels. So if we add in 300 here, you can see that that looks about right, and that's what we want it to stay at. So because we've added that minimum width, instead of all of the dogs bunching up together, they'll start to stack on top of each other exactly like we would like. So let's check the rest of the groups. The two here, because they're central anyway, they are fine for mobile. We'll just check the pop-ups. So if the pop-ups add a dog, because the pop-ups were already in a group that, you know, with no fixed width, they tend to already be responsive. So all of them are generally okay. I did cheat a little bit with making this app responsive because I already had the filter in a pop-up. On some pages, you might have had your group of dogs to the right a little bit and had filter group on the left. What you can do then is you can hide the filter group when it's under a certain width, and then show this filter button or show a filter button and have the filter group in a pop-up. So if you're going to do that, it's best to make the filter group a reusable element if you can. So the other thing to check is that mobiles can actually go to a lower width than 375. There is some mobiles that go to less. So if we go to less, you can see with the filter here that the minimum and maximum both wrap, split the word up and wrap to a new line. So we'll just make them fixed width so that doesn't happen. But let's check it out in how it looks now. So as you can see, it looks exactly the same in the desktop view. When we start to decrease the size to mobile now, it now looks a lot better around the top here. The buttons they've got the spacing. It makes sense how it works. And then the dogs are not squashed anymore, which is great. And from a user's point of view, they can come on and they'll be able to just scroll with their finger straight down like they're used to with many other apps. I hope that helps. As you become more experienced with Bubble, you will naturally make your apps more mobile responsive. There are also a lot of other responsive techniques that weren't shown in this video, so I've left more resources in the information below. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and thank you and good luck.